everybody, welcome to another edition of Toddster's Magical Mystery Review. I'm your host Toddster, and today we're going to take a look at the monthly extra review, and we're going to do something completely different, no pun intended. And today we're going to look at the Rutles, All You Need Is Cash. There we go. Came out in 1978 and was directed by Eric Idle for Monty Python and Gary Weiss. And this is a great movie, and you know it's a must-watch for any music fan and any comedy fan. And it's so how did this movie came about? Well, after the success of Monty Python and the Holy Grail, each of the Pythons went on doing their little solo projects. And for Eric Idle's case, he went back to television with a series called Rutland Weekend Television on the BBC, and it was sort of like a TV station in Rutland, which is the smallest county in England. And it was made in low budget. In fact, you know, a whole season of that show cost less than an hour-long Lulu Christmas special. Not only Eric was in it, but he also brought along Neil Innes from the Bonzo Dog Doodah Band, and also worked with Monty Python, and especially in the Holy Grail movie. You know, brave, 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 Sir Robin. Yeah, that's him. And Neil was brought in to write special songs for the show, and one of the songs that he wrote was a sort of Beatlesque Hard Day's Night type song, I Must Be in Love, and it prompted Eric the idea of this Beatles parody, which he called the Rutles, and he showed it on Saturday Night Live when he hosted it, around the same time when the executive producer Lorne Michaels made that famous offer to reunite the Beatles, for that check of $3,000, and the feedback was enormous. Like, people were sending in albums, but they put in Rutles and cross out Beatles, and so it gave Eric the idea of making a movie. And Lorne Michaels helped him with the budget, and gave him a bigger budget than what the BBC had offered him, and it's a great movie. Yet when it was shown on NBC, it was the lowest ranking viewing of that night, but and over the years, it gained a cult following, and it's brilliant. So let's talk about the plot. It's basically the Beatles story of some sort, but instead of the Beatles, it's the Rutles. The Pre-Fab Four: Dirk, Nasty, Stig, and Barry, which is Paul, John, George, and Ringo, in that order. And and it covers the whole story, and yet there's other characters, like Leggy Man Batten, their manager, sort of the Brian Epstein type fella, but a little bit older and with a wooden leg, and we also get to see we get to see the Saturday Night Live cast. And John Belushi, Gilda Radner, Bill Murray DeKay, and Dan Aykroyd, and also we get to see Mick Jagger and Paul Simon as themselves. Recalling about the Rutles, and also we get to see George Harrison in this movie. He plays the TV journalist. Interviewing Michael Palin as their press officer. They're sort of Derek Taylor. Eric Manchester, that's his name. yeah, nothing much to say about the plot, but except if you know the Beatles story, then you'll really get a kick out of it, especially the little inside jokes. And yeah, so the best clips. Well, that's very hard to pick. There's one great bit after another, and but yet there's a couple of great funny clips. Especially when when Leggy goes to Australia for a teaching post, which is supposed to be like when Brian died. They said that they were shocked and stunned, and when while Bob Dylan introduced the Beatles to marijuana, he introduces the Rutles with tea, and all sorts of stuff happen, and but yeah, and but mainly the music really drives this this picture. Neil Innes' songs, which he plays the Lennon character, Ron Nasty. There's great songs in it. Ouch, which is supposed to be Help, as I said. I Must Be in Love, which is supposed to be A Hard Day's Night, and Piggy in the Middle, which is supposed to be I'm the Walrus, which is from their Tragical History tour movie, and finally, the ever classic Cheese and Onions from the Yellow Submarine sandwich movie. So what do I say about this movie? Well, it's a very funny movie. It's a great movie because it is, and and it does create the whole mockumentary genre, with the Spinal Tap and all those movies, and also get the soundtrack album as well, and not only that, get the archaeology album, which was their little answer to the whole anthology series. But anyway, as far as ranking, I would give this 5 Rutles out of 5. And as for the 5th Ruttle, I would say Bill Murray Decay. Bill Murray Decay is the 5th Ruttle. And so there you have it. The Rutles, all you need is cash. And go out and see it. Have some tea while you watch it. It'll be a more pleasant watching experience. And so my name is Toddster. You've just watched another magical mystery review. Well, actually, another tragical history review. And I'll see you next time. Till then, toodaloo.